Hi, so today I wanted to talk about scrying again. I had just put out a video about the tools and methods and intention setting and stuff like that, an overview of scrying. But this video is going to be particularly about a certain way that I scry that I call body scrying. And essentially, this body scrying thing that's what I'm calling it, comes from a certain way that I perceive things to be occurring. And I'm going to try and explain that as well as I can without going on for too long. But the belief essentially is that a lot like religion and the way that we view our outer world as working, the way that we perceive the universe as how it creates and how we're a part of it and all that kind of stuff. Like, each and every one of us have a view of that, even if it is that we just don't believe in that, or if we're very religious, or if we're very spiritual, or if we think of it energetically. We all have like this kind of way that when we wake up in the morning, we're like, oh, this is the way life works. And however that is for any one person, I'm not really here to knock what that way is, unless you're being harmful. Then I'm not really particular to it. But every single person is going to be affected by kind of the way that they imagine the world to be working. Okay, so that being said, I think that the same exact thing applies to the way, excuse me, to the way that we connect and view / imagine our bodies. So, I mean, think about like if someone is carrying a lot of stress or tension or things like that, which we all actually tend to do. And, maybe we have aches and pains because this is not a perfect world and we're living in, bodies that deteriorate and things like that. It's really easy to focus on the kind of like the tension or the pain or the stress of your body. And, I just find it very interesting. This is important. It's a little side factor, but it's part of it, is that we don't actually know what the insides of our bodies look like. I mean, it baffles me. It fascinates me. It's a deep mystery that even it's like going into the deepest, darkest depths of the ocean and shining a light. When you shine the light, that's not actually what it's like down there. What it's like down there is dark. What it's like down there is not when we're down there with the light. And that's the same for our bodies. We can look in anatomy books. We know, like, surgically and anatomically what our bodies look like. But, when it's all sealed up, when it's all working and you're walking around, it doesn't actually look like those books, if that makes any sense. So that being said, when we're walking around and we're connecting with our bodies, with our minds, even if we're not thinking about consciously doing that, we are. We have a relationship with our body. We have a relationship with our body regardless of if we work out or not. If we eat food, we connect with it, whatever. We have a relationship with our body, and our minds are very, very important parts of that relationship. And that's kind of the point that I'm getting at, is that the way that we imagine our bodies to be, not just externally, but internally too, that actually highly affects the way the body actually is. And before I go any further, I do just want to make a little bit of a disclaimer or something, that I am not saying that chronic pain or illness or something like that is not justifiable, or like, it's not going to be just like cured by something that I'm going to say in this video. But I am saying that I do think that the mind-body relationship, even with chronic pain, could be pretty beneficial, helpful with coping with it or something like that. So anyways, on with the actual, I guess, technique. So body scrying. Body scrying, to me, is kind of, you can do it in 4 ways, is how I was thinking of it. The first way, what it is I'm not going to tell you how to scry. I'm not going to tell you like what to use, like what tools and things like that, or if you should light a candle. You can look at that in another video. But once you get to the actual scrying, you can do one of these 4 things for body scrying. And what they are is, one, you can just kind of like look at your entire body as one entity, one being, which it is, in some ways, and just kind of scry into your entire body and see what it is that you see or experience or feel or perceive in the scrying. Another way would be to take a particular area of the body and scry into an area and just really gain insight on that. Third thing would be a kind of like a body scan, where you maybe start at your toes and you work your way up to your head and you kind of scry all the way up, however you want to do that. And then the fourth way, which I just kind of thought of, and I haven't actually done it yet, but I'm excited to do it, is the relationship in your body of 2 different places in your body. So like I'm going to scry into my neck and see how that connects to my left hip. And I'm just going to see what comes up. So anyways, those are like the 4 different, I guess, like main modes of body scrying that I'm seeing as you could do. But let me know if you can think of another way to do this. Leave it in the comments if you want to. But yeah, so once you kind of determine where you're going to be scrying, what part of the body, then essentially how I see it is there's kind of 2 different ways to approach doing it. And I think that they are best left separate, but I'll leave that up to you. So the 2 ways. The first way is a kind of authentic witnessing of your body, or the part of your body. So I'll just say the body just for the sake of this video. So, maybe you're scrying into your body and you, it's not going to always be just all roses and sunshine, even though that would be really interesting. And maybe we'll get into that in the second part. But, so you can scry into your body and see what you see. Set a timer and, set 10 minutes or something like that, and connect with your body authentically and just witness, allow, absorb, soak in, be yin, and just assess the situation. See what it is that you find when you scry into your body. You might, and I'm just going to give an example because some people have a hard time actually scrying, and I want to do a whole nother video on like how to scry and with symbols and stuff. But so an example is maybe you're scrying into your body and you see a building, and you look at that building and you say, okay, what are the walls of the building made of, and what is how's the roof, and what needs some maintenance, and what is doing really good, and stuff like that. And you can kind of almost get this metaphor for how you're connecting with your body. And in this first way of body scrying, the kind of yin acceptance, kind of authentic witnessing type, that's a really long title for it, but like in the witnessing kind of body scrying, just assessing the situation just to get like very clear on how you're connecting with your body can be really, really impactful. It might be, especially in the body scan, you might be going through the steps of your body and you get to a part and you're just like, whoa, why am I like seeing all this like, you know, sharp shapes or darkness or something like that, something that is like stress, like, you know, I didn't really realize that I was connecting or not connecting with this part of my body in a positive or healthy way. So yeah, that's the first way. The second way is kind of the opposite. And why I say do them separate is because you want to really just fully allow and accept in the first one. And then the second way is much more about like interacting and changing what it is that you want to change about the interactions with you and your mind and your body, right? So maybe in the first session, you kind of recognize maybe a rundown wall or something like that. In the second session, you could bring some maintenance to that. You could actually, you know, kind of go in and like kind of an active scrying. You could go in and with the intention of healing, with the intention of positive change, with the intention of betterment and of deeper connection, more better connection with your body and that area or the whole body. And you can bring in metaphors, like, so like I was saying, if it was a building, you could bring in some maintenance people, or you could bring in some sunshine or something, open up a window, dust the place, you know. That's just one metaphor, but like within a scrying session, you could really just experience so many different things that I wouldn't limit it to even sight or a building, like, or anything physical. But I think that's a really easy, good metaphor to use for people just getting started. But when you do the active session, even though you are consciously bringing something in, like say we are just bringing in more sunlight into a room that's inside your body, which I love that idea of, you know, you still are going to be in a scrying session. You're still doing a working, and it's still kind of interesting to pay attention to what you see and how you experience that sunlight. What does it feel like in that session to open up the window, to open up the blinds? What does it feel like in your body? Connect with what does it feel like to connect with that part of your body or your body in totality, like all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's body scrying. If you have any questions, let me know. Maybe I can do another follow-up on this particular subject, but I am going to keep doing scrying videos because I have a lot more to talk about scrying. So I think that's it for today. I am wishing you well. Bye.